Hello, and welcome to another episode on Worldview Connections with Isaac Matthews. This is part 7 of Philosophy of Religion. Referring back to this slide here, we're going to get into this scientific and theological claims and referring to that. There are a lot of debates about this. Specifically, I want to talk about Francis S. Collins and Richard Dawkins today on this episode. We'll get more to Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson. We'll get into that later. And again, I've heard this many times. I don't know if you've heard this, but these debates, these are just pointless games of whack-a-mole. You hit the head down, it keeps popping up. There's always another question, never-ending questions on each side. It's infinite regress. But I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, today that I promise and a commitment to my viewers, I'm sincerely seeking truth. Okay, pinky swear, handshake on the deal. I'm not here to play games. I'm really trying to find the truth. Like I said, I'm not paid by any church or organization to do this, and I'm really trying to dig in for truth. And I have a sincere, heartfelt desire to do that. So, looking at Francis Collins and Richard Dawkins, um, they're both best-selling authors. They're both biologists. Uh, they're both very educated, good, seem to be honest about how they approach life, but one's a Christian and one's an atheist. So obviously you can't say, well, you're a Christian because you're an idiot. You don't understand the science. Or you don't know the biology. Um, I've listened to both of them. I've read their a lot of the things they've written, not everything, but I have read these books and looked at what they've said, and I think they're both sincere about their approach. Looking at what is the origin of life, the theological claim is God created the universe, especially with young Earth creationists and intelligent design. But Francis S. Collins does not get into that. He looks at evolution and the whole process. He looks at the science of it, and he's not a young Earth creationist, and he's not an intelligent design ID, what they call it, arguer, apologist. How did we get from physics to chemistry to biology? Again, scientists, including Francis Collins and Richard Dawkins, none of them say they know. These are mysteries. So, did God use evolution to create life? Must we choose a binary, polarized, divisive, and combative mindset, worldview, or position on these topics? Can science and faith go together? Can we hold both? Which world do you choose? So, look at this. Francis Collins and Richard Dawkins, they both have a foundation. Here's their logos here. The BioLogos Foundation is Francis Collins and Richard Dawkins Foundation for Research and Science. I've looked on both quite a bit and a lot of great information on both, really. Um, so, if you believe in God, especially the omni-God that exists, what does this all mean, though? There are still questions, a lot of questions to get into. Why the process of evolution, the suffering, the disease, the bloodshed into man's existence, this just all led to that? Or was it just a creation that led to these consequences as well? But let's look at this. Kind of a final thought and a question for this one is, how do good and smart and honest people like Dr. Francis S. Collins go from basic belief in God and theism, some would call even deism in some cases, God created the world and left. How do they get from there to Christianity? What is the evidence or method of knowing that Christianity is true? Um, these are some of the arguments against this. So the next video, I'm going to get into the presuppositionalism. How does this way of arguing this form of Christian apologetics support or lead one to Christianity? How do you get from a basic theism, knowing God exists, to the omni-God, to Jesus? And how do we, know the principles of Christianity are true? So again, I thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Share ideas, things that you think are interesting so far, and please share this video with a loved one or a friend. Always great for discussions. These always feel free to stop at a point and pause it and show whatever charts I've provided. Again, I want to show some of my resources for these videos. If you have any questions, let me know. And I thank you for listening. Hope to see you on the next one.